tried one out of a bottle in Canada, but it was in the brown, the original sour mash.
Okay.
But yeah, this is exciting.
When I saw that, it was like it's in such good condition.
I mean, I love the box and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's so perfect.
I'm not sure. I might mug Nash for the bottle.
He kept everything inside his dad owned the liquor store and all that, and so he started.
This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lick. Be on the lookout for a brand new bottled and bond Solomon Scott rye whiskey. Made from a mash composed of 65% rye, 35% corn, and 5% victory malt. This 5-year-old 100 proof rye whiskey is a throwback to early 1800s style rye whiskeys of the Ohio Valley. Named after the legendary Daisy Spring Mill distillery owner turned moonshiner Solomon Scott of Paoli, Indiana. Remember, drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
Just little babies.
It's amazing. It's amazing, really. Sorry, I was itching.
Okay. All right. So, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
Let me put this away.
Welcome to.
Yeah. It's just like falling out of the.
He's answering it too. That's why.
Just start. Yeah. All right.
Here, let me take a picture of everybody.
There we go.
What?
All right.
Oh, here we go.
All right, and I'll just do one of you.
Oh, one by himself.
Yeah.
He deserves a bit.
Yeah,
one
you're
by
good.
himself.
See why he fell off his chair? He's just always on the edge of his seat.
I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we'll go. All right.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy bourbon boys, raisins in hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy bourbon boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun, yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys here with Andrea and Dan of Michters. We are here at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and actually the end of Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I would say today is Sunday. We've had a little bit of rain and some sunshine, but overall, I would say this was the Michters Day at the festival. So it's great to have you guys on.
Yeah, thanks so much. Sips and sunshine. That's what we love.
Yep.
that song, I always, Darius Rucker, he hears beers and sunshine. I'm like bourbon and sunshine. It's still BS, right?
Yes, very much so.
Anyways, we got Super Nash here. We got Whiskey, CT, and Roxy along with me. But that's okay, Tiny. So. What tell us about what you guys did today. I mean, it was a busy day, right?
Well, Dan picked on me a lot today. I'll say that.
Well, I've just never quite heard it put that way before. I thought I was just working.
We had beautiful biscuits. Well, let's see. Bourbon, biscuits, bacon, brunch. A lot of bees in there. So we had the brunch today, and Dan and I told the story of Michters. We had some great expressions. We tasted Michters barrel strength bourbon, Michters bourbon, Michters 10-year bourbon. We had a beautiful cocktail, and we had a big hearty Kentucky breakfast with all things biscuits and gravies and bacon and bourbon bacon at that, made with Michters, and cakes and salad and fruit and just country ham and everything, eggs, everything you can imagine. So it was wonderful.
And yet somehow I did not get to partake in any of that. So thank you. So who is picking on who here?
I was sitting right there.
No, you are. Yes, you went up for seconds.
Well, and another banter back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, we had that today too.
I was sharing the Michter story. But no, it's been great. Everybody at the tent has been enjoying it. I got to go to pour Shanks and Bombergers at the VIP tent earlier today and meeting everybody. It's just fantastic getting out and seeing all the whiskey lovers, no matter who they are, and then the other producers, our friends in the industry. It's really just a great time.
Yeah, for sure. I was after when we podcasted, I was able to actually Shanks came out one day, and my guy I know the manager at a Giant Eagle, and he called me and said, "Well, Shanks was here, but I didn't call you quick enough." So the next week it was Bombergers, and he called me quick enough.
Okay.
So I was able to get a bottle of that, and it was.
Well, that's good to have friends.
Yeah, well, it was delicious. That.
Thank
but
you.
You had let us taste it already, so I knew it was delicious.
Whoa! I don't know anything about that.
But I think you said you were serving it earlier, and I think that's the thing people that don't come to the festival don't understand is you get opportunities here to do things like that with people like yourselves that offer great expressions of your brand. And of course, Shanks and Bombergers is not something you're running out buying off the shelf. It's something that's going to take a little bit of effort, but you get a chance to drink it here and see how good it really is, and you're like, okay, I need to find that.
Yeah, that
So
Bombergers
it's pretty awesome.
That Bombergers was the real deal.
And that's
Appreciate you saying that.
bottle.
Thank you so
And
much.
also, like at the event today, we had the 10-year, and then we had the limited edition single barrel bourbon, which both of those were fantastic, and also always the small batch, which is a great expression.
But it was a great experience, though, for people, too, because you could experience the base bourbon, then 10-year bourbon, then barrel strength bourbon. So you got to experience the difference between age and proof and how it can influence the different expressions, which I think it's also... This festival is also about education. It's about opportunities, tasting different products, getting opportunities with people like Dan McKee, the Michters Distillers, people in the business. Some have been in the business for 30 and 40 years. To be able to come out here and hear their passion and their story and taste unique expressions and get an education about what's so unique. I mean, that's what makes Kentucky bourbon great. Everybody's not doing it the same way, but it's so incredibly wonderful and delicious and fun.
That's one of the great things too. It's not just all about just drink and tasting bourbon, but you also come out here and be able to talk and with people like y'all and get a little bit more education, some history.
And I'm just really proud about, thank you, and I'm proud about how Michters does this. I mean, Andrea Wilson's our COO and Master Maturation, but also throughout the last 4 days, we've had members of our production team, our sales team, administration, people actually working in the distillery are here as part of that education piece because they're actually living it and they actually can discuss and which is awesome. And it's a huge help having the team come out and support us. So
I agree. They're very proud of what we do.
I mean,
passion is there.
Yeah, just today, I mean, in particular, we have our manager of our processing and bottling departments and our distillery supervisor from the Fort Nelson Distillery, just to name two, which is really awesome. So.
Well, and then they get to, you guys go out and do a lot of and hear it from the consumer. But to a festival like this, when they come, this is your consumer niche, and they get to hear it also. And I think when you work at the distillery and that's what you do, you don't get a lot of that, but when it kind of would pump you up, right?
Yep.
I mean, you don't have a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, it sucked." It's more like, "Give me more."
Yeah. No, and it's been a great festival too.
Yeah.
We've been lucky to have great weather.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
been a little bit of rain this morning, but I think that actually, like last year, I felt like the festival died down about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And I think this year it stayed going until.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone run away. That was the beauty of it.
The
So.
rain kind of slowed people down.
They kind of move in a zigzag pattern.
Yeah.
So, well, very cool.
So yeah, I didn't get to. Unfortunately for us, Nash did not bring us a pour of the tongue here, but we will assume that it was good.
I'll give you my taste in
So
this
maybe you can
here in a
make up
little
for it
while.
at some point today.
Yeah, talk about what you brought to finish off the festival. We've been excited for this.
And I've been real excited too because of something that Dan had told me when we got to Shively this year and sat down.
I'm scared we may need to edit this because I'm not sure what I said. So,
Well, you when we were talking about my podcast named Super Nash and how I was always come up with these old dusty bottles and stuff like that, and how last year at the festival, how I had opened up some of those and shared with them. And then your first thing you said, well, you didn't share anything with me on the podcast like that.
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, so that was my inspiration to go out and find something like this. And
I'm excited.
Specifically to bring back and share with you this year. So
I'm excited.
what I found was 1975 pint-sized Michters jug distillate whiskey, and in the box tax stamped, and it actually was tax stamped in Maryland, and it's like I said, it's a 1975, and we're going to cut this tax sticker on it right now and open this up and have a nice pour.
You realize this is 1 year after I was. So.
Well, we're close then, because I was born in '75, so
This is my birth bottle.
With the way it's been going, having Nash have a sharp knife.
Yeah.
Is,
Trust me, I scooted back a little bit.
I saw that.
okay.
Will.
First time it's breathed in a long time.
it's whether or not that cork's going to Let's see.
It's going to be real easy.
Okay.
Go. First time it's breathed in a long time.
It's whether or not that cork's going to handle it. Let's see.
All right, it's going to be real easy.
Pressure is on.
Oh, that is. Yeah.
Did we do it? Oh!
Wasn't able to do it.
You know,
Anyone bring the cork? Oh, we're going in.
They have they
Do they have a corkscrew at the bar?
No, they don't.
don't have a corkscrew.
No.
She did. Even if you have to push it down through, it's not gonna hurt.
It's almost better to push it down in one piece than to
Then-
shatter it
then
into
to
many.
shatter. Well, that's what we're going to have to do.
well, that's what it
All
did.
right.
Well,
All right.
all right. Just a little extra flavor.
Yep. Got to be nervous here.
You just want to get it out of there.
Oh, look at that.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Some nice. There's the first thing.
Look at
Look
that
at
color.
that clearness.
It is clean.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful.
You know, so technically that's an export.
It's what?
It's an export. It gives you the first glass, the Master Distiller.
Well, if I remember last year, I think we were all drinking out of used glasses at that point that I came over to the tent. So
I'll split it with you here.
Yeah, I can just taste a little out of your cup.
Well, Nash, thank you so much for this, because that's incredible.
Thanks a lot, Shane.
Here's to a successful Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Cheers to Michters. Another chapter in the book. Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
It's so great that you were able to come share in this too. I mean,
This is a really special moment for us. I mean, this is
Yes.
what Kentucky Bourbon's all about. For people who don't know, this moment right here, when you come together and you get to enjoy something really special together and make memories. That's what it's about. So it's
Exactly.
amazing.
And if
the
you
nose,
just-
I mean, I actually.
I know it from here.
So it's just like.
So if you don't know, Kentucky Bourbon Festival is actually the start of our season, which runs 52 weeks. So
I mean,
this is
no.
season number what, Jeff? 5?
5.
So with this is the beginning, and you guys are the first episode 1. Season
Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
To your
Thank you.
success. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Smells really good.
Oh, yeah.
Did you try it already?
Yeah, I did. It's great.
So, and it's funny because this would not be,
Wow.
this is technically not Kentucky bourbon, right? This is Pennsylvania bourbon. Or is it Kentucky?
So this is the Michters Sour Mash. So before 1989, one of the best-selling expressions from Michters was the Michters Original Sour Mash that they sold in the jug form. Not a bourbon by definition, not a rye by definition either. So there was actually a gentleman, Michael Jackson, who wrote about spirits in the 80s, and he actually suggested that this product was 50% rye, 38% corn, and 12% malted barley. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but that was his suggestion. And he always said that the reason why they didn't call it, or they didn't make it 51% rye, is because they were afraid back in the day the government would make them call it a rye whiskey. So very interesting. And ryes were all but dead after Prohibition, so they didn't want anything to do with the rye. But it's got, I mean, for me, I don't know what you all are getting, but it's got this beautiful, like you were talking about caramel, but I also think it's like heavy and honey and sweetness and just so elegant, so delicious.
And you know what's crazy? You could say they don't make them like this anymore, but you could.
Well, so interesting story. Willie Pratt, when Willie set out to honor the heritage of Michters in Pennsylvania, he wanted to make a sour mash whiskey. And I remember him telling, or Joe telling us the story that when Willie called Joe, who's our owner, with his brothers, and said, Joe said, well, were you able to make something equivalent to the sour mash? And Willie said, nope. And he said, oh, that's a disappointment, you know, and he was like, no, it's better. So, you know, we do really feel like we took a hard look. And if I'm sitting here, I would just be honest. I really do feel like this is definitely on character with what we make as the sour mash today. And I'm really proud of that.
Well, and I would think you're the one who would be the expert on that of anybody. So, yes, I would agree.
I'll just say that this is a moment in my career that I will actually look back, I cherish. So, you know, first of all, just being a part of the industry as long as we've been, we have those historic pot stills that came from the Schaeferstown, Pennsylvania Michters that are being used at the Fort Nelson Distillery. And now to try something that's this old from the original Michters, I don't know, this is special and with you guys, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was not expecting this today, so thank you.
I mean, I also just remember we're used to, we get this stuff, but then to try it with you guys.
Yeah,
that's a moment we don't forget either. I mean, every time I'm with
this
you,
has been very special for me.
I appreciate it. We're very, very thankful to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you for finally someone listening to something I said. I think that's the key here.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Where did you find it? Did you find it in Pennsylvania or?
No, my friend, his dad owned a liquor store there in Anderson.
Okay.
In the 70s and 80s and all that. And then they have friends that have liquor stores and stuff. And so he started stashing this stuff away. He's about 5 years older than me, and I'm 58. He's 63. So he started stashing stuff like this away from his dad's liquor store.
Amazing.
And all that. And
Edition, right?
I was going to say, it is perfect. I mean,
so that's
even
why,
this box,
and
my goodness.
He's had all this stuff like stashed away in the basement of their house and things like that. So it's been inside.
That's just age. That box is probably pure white when it was made.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about
over
that.
Time, it just browned.
Yeah.
Naturally.
But it's gorgeous. Like, it's fully intact. It's barely even, you know.
No crushed corners.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
So when I asked him about it, and he's like, just let me go look. And then about a week later, he calls me up. He says, come meet me at the Ingles downtown. Met him at the Ingles, and that's what he showed me. I'm like,
You know what I thought was interesting is quality control was still important to Michters back then. Because if you read the actual bottle, this is Series B, 1976. So you guys were still trying to track batches and lots.
Wow.
So I don't know that everybody had the same quality control standards.
what I actually had to open up with you that I first procured they had was 76 early times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's actually we opened it at the house because I brought it up and we had opened it earlier in the week.
Well, I not to speak for Andrea, but I have no issue with ending the festival like this. Anytime you want to bring the a classic, I'm pretty excited.
We have 365 days to find it.
Yes, you do.
Make it a tradition.
364, but
I got the early times because when we first walked out of the conference room and all, when we were going to do
our neighbors.
Yeah, and you showed me your neighbor back there in the old brick building. And I was like, wow. And then I saw he had the early time. I said, I want that. But then it didn't dawn on me. It was like, do you want anything Michters? And then he's, well, I'll have to check. And then that's when he come back a week later with that.
Well,
So what's the other one? Is the King Tut bottle the other one we talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one for next year.
I've never seen one personally. Well, two things. Never seen one personally still with the stamp intact and then been offered. So, yeah.
Are you talking about this one or the King?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
There's a lot of King Tuts at the Fort Nelson, right?
Yeah.
They have a couple in display.
Yeah.
But they're all empty.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, not intact. Yeah.
I'll definitely be working on that.
So
that's what I love to do. And,
yeah. Well,
maybe we can next year. It'll be
definitely. Well, we appreciate this always, and it's been great getting to know you guys. Obviously, because I've had fun both times that we did this. And then, a tradition to start season 6, why not? So, just throwing that out there.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like a winner to me.
So,
thank you.
So
Thanks
Andrea,
again.
I saw
Thank
you
you so
reading
much.
the tag. Did you see the tagline from Site 76?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whiskey that warmed the revolution.
there you go.
Yeah.
No, it is a really cool history that goes back to 1753. So, yep.
All right, everybody. That's a wrap. This is ACT. Andrew,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Amazing.
We're out of here. Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
It's kind of like the day Christmas time.
2020.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys fans, this is Alan Bishop, Indiana's alchemist of the Black Forest. So I'm tuning in here today to tell you all about the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute channel on YouTube. If you're at all interested in the art of distilling, whether it be home distilling or professional distilling, and the intense geekery that goes into that process, then check out the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. I promise you're going to learn something you didn't know before about the arts.